Hello, today I'm going to talk about how I beat the 20th century medical profession at their own game. A while back I was unlucky enough to sustain a foot injury that would keep me off my foot for over 6 months. When I sought help from the professional medical industry, this was their fix. Not only did I not like it, you can tell that my dog didn't like it either. In addition to the bruised sides and sore armpits, crutches are really inconvenient on your lifestyle. I'm a tea drinker. Try carrying a cup of tea with crutches. You can see the result here. By the time I made it to my destination with my cup of tea, there wasn't very much left. Despite what our well-paid medical profession thought, I didn't feel this was an acceptable solution to my problem. Let's enter into the picture the end of using crutches. I went out to my scrap wood pile and I gathered up some pieces of oak, a little beam, some plywood. I found some PVC pipe laying around the shed and got some Velcro and thread from my sewing kit. I threw everything into my cauldron, stirred for 4 minutes, dumped it out, and this is what I came up with. My version of crutches for an injured foot. The unit is inherently stable, because if it won't stand up by itself, how am I going to stand on it? 3 Velcro strips will hold it onto my leg. You'll notice this strap is going to carry the bulk of the weight, so I put a little extra cushion on it. And finally, the last strap. I'm ready to take this baby for a test walk. Now let's see, if I built it right, it should support my full weight, and I should be able to stand on it without requiring the use of the other leg. Here we go. I'll have to mark this one off as a successful test. Now I can start living a normal life again. Let's start by chasing the dog. You remember how well modern medicine handled carrying a cup of tea? Well, let's see if I can do better. Not one drop spilled. No, your eyes did not deceive you. Just to prove it, I'll do it again. And finally, for those non-believers that think this was trick photography, watch this. Let's take a look at how modern medicine climbs stairs. Now let's look at my method. Modern medicine going down the stairs? Maybe this is a way to drum up more business. As you fall down the stairs, you can go back and visit your doctor again. Let's look at a much safer way of going down them steps. For those not convinced, here's irrefutable proof that the grass is greener when using my system. Anyone who's ever tried to mow a lawn while using crutches can see that there's definitely an advantage to my system. The system used for mowing the lawn when you're on crutches is don't do it. So that would be 6 months of not mowing your lawn. After 6 months, the lawn would look just like the one behind my rope over there. Let's look at some technical details for those people who are interested. Well, here's an overview of what the completed artificial leg looks like. Obviously, every single aspect of it had to be custom designed to fit my height, and my size. Looking at the vertical support, you can see it's not straight up and down. I leaned it forward just a little bit. Trial and error told me two things. The first was, since your thigh actually sticks out further than your knee, it has to be leaned forward, otherwise it's riding up against your upper part of your thigh. The second thing is, it's easier to bend your knee if that vertical support is leaning forward. On the forward side of the vertical support, I installed hook Velcro. It's permanently attached. And then I took some loop Velcro, permanently attached one end, and I used the other to wrap around my leg. The other two attach points are also Velcro. Both are permanently attached to the bottom of the artificial leg. One side is hook, the other side is loop. You just wrap them around the leg and they stick. To increase the comfort level, I stitched in a light piece of foam. As you can see, I didn't put a lot of effort into the sewing. The reason is that I would periodically change this foam as it wore out. I did, after all, wear this thing for like 8 to 9 hours a day. Here we see the starting point in my design process. That white piece of plastic. It had to be long enough to support my entire leg and give me stability, but short enough not to interfere with my ankle and my injured foot. Flexibility of the PVC is an absolute must. The PVC is much smaller than my leg, so as soon as I put my leg in it, it expands out and holds it nice and tight. For the main post on my leg, I used a 3x3. A 4x4 would have been too heavy, and a 2x2 would have been too small because I would have been teetering instead of balancing. So the 3x3 fit the bill perfectly. Originally I considered drilling holes in it to remove some weight, but it turned out the leg wasn't that heavy after all. Okay, here's where the most time-consuming part of the job was. Is the foot. You can see on the right side that it had to be short enough that it wouldn't interfere with my other leg. Then on the left side, it had to go far enough out to provide the stability that I needed for balancing. But you don't want it too big because the bigger the foot, the more difficult it would be to walk with. The main leg post also had to be mounted more aft than forward. The more wood that you have aft of your main post would require you to step higher and higher in order to move your foot forward. The reason for this is as you lift your leg, the front end of your foot points more toward the sky, which results in the back end of the foot pointing toward the ground. So the back piece of wood would hit the ground. Believe it or not, the bottom of the foot took an awful lot of work as well. Instead of just being flat, I tapered the front edge of the foot down. This made a significant difference in ease of picking the foot up and moving it forward. I also put a slight taper on the back side for when I wanted to walk backwards. A design flaw that I incorporated into it and quickly removed is I put a little bit of light cushion on the bottom, thinking that it would absorb some of the impact of putting the foot down. But the only thing it accomplished was to collect rocks embedded in it and reduce the stability of the foot. In short, I just wanted to show that if you're not happy with the quality of your medical treatment, and you have spare parts laying around the house, as well as a wood shop, you can drastically improve the quality of your own life. And here's the neat part. If you have a machine shop, it would be pretty easy to make this an adjustable foot so that it would fit many different people. But alas, I don't have a machine shop. So I just wanted to say to everybody, thanks for watching.